My name is Heidi Bennett, and I came to Ensign College a few years ago to start a new career path. I wanted more from my job. I wanted to expand my career, and I felt like I was a fly trying to get through glass. I could see what I wanted. It was just right there, and I couldn't get there, and I kept beating against that barrier, and I didn't understand what it was. But then I finally realized that it was skills and experience that I just didn't have. And so to get those skills and experience, I needed to move over. I couldn't get where I wanted from where I was. And so I came to Ensign, to the digital marketing program, and to learn more about audiences and channels. Well, I chose Ensign College because I wanted an in-person experience. I had looked at some online programs, I had looked at some other options, and I knew that I was going to have a lot of questions, and I wanted to have an in-person experience where I could really get help from an instructor. And so I chose Ensign because it had the program I wanted and because the price was right. I could have continued working while I was in school. I didn't have to quit my job, but I wanted to go full-time. And I was in a circumstance where it would be okay to quit my job, and so I did. And I came to school full-time, and I was able to get the certificate in 2 semesters. The certificate made a big difference in my career because it got me unstuck. I don't think the certificate alone would have gotten me where I am now, but it put me on a different path that led to, it gave me the skills and some experience that led to an internship that then led to another certification. I got a UX certificate. And all of that combined got me this job where I am now, which is pretty close to my dream job. And I know that, like I said, the certificate alone probably wouldn't have gotten me here, but it got me on the path that led me here. And it's made all the difference. I loved the instructors and the classes that I had. There were a few instructors that stood out. There was one in particular. He was my web development instructor, and he interviewed all the students about our career goals and what do you want to do. And I kept sticking to, well, I want to be a writer and a content creator because that had been my identity for so long. But he said, you know, Heidi, we know you're a good writer, but you're also doing really well in your technical classes. And so why don't you lean into that a little bit more? Don't be afraid of that. So I chose to follow his advice, and I leaned into the UX experience, and it's made all the difference. I also loved working with the other students. Sometimes there's usually a lot of group work at Ensign, which I normally have hated, but I really enjoyed it because I got to work with such a diverse group of students. Younger students, international students, and then there were other older students like me. I learned so much from them, and I just really enjoyed it. I was afraid that I would feel like the mom, but I never did. I felt like they were my peers because they were. It was hard to be a beginner again. It's always hard to feel like you're starting over, and that you're a beginner, to feel like you don't know anything after feeling like I had, a certain level of expertise in my job. But it's really the only way to learn. And I was also, along those same lines, I was a little nervous about, how much hands-on experience there was in our classes. In one of my first digital marketing classes, we were working with actual clients on live accounts. And I was a little intimidated by that because I didn't want to mess up somebody else's business. But again, you know, if it's all pretend, you're not learning as much. Having that real experience made a big difference, and it's really the best way to learn. And I didn't mess anything up for anybody, so it was good. I really enjoyed my time at Ensign College. It helped me feel, I'm happiest when I'm learning. And so it made me feel more confident in my skills. I also appreciated the spiritual atmosphere. It was a little bit weird, I have to admit, starting class with a prayer and a spiritual thought, but I came to really enjoy it. And to feel like there wasn't that barrier between my secular learning or my academic learning and my spiritual life. It was nice to have that combination.